Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the best candlestick pattern. I use this pattern in all of my videos, the short selling series and the gap trading series. It's part of our fundamental trading strategy. If you want to learn more about that strategy, you can join us on Patreon where I provide you exclusive content on that, and you get to have weekly conversations with me to help you improve your trading. Now, this information is not financial advice. It is for entertainment and education purposes only. See the disclaimer in the comment in the description below. 80% success rate. Yes, 80% of the time it will work. 20% of the time it will not. And that's why we have our fundamentals and our risk management, all that good stuff in the fundamental course on our Patreon. So if you want to learn more about that, again, go ahead and take a look. So let's jump into the information, shall we? So obviously this video is for people who have some experience. It's not necessarily for beginners. So you need to be a little bit informed on technical analysis to really grasp that information, this information. So let's go on Investopedia, shall we? And here you have the 5 most powerful candlestick patterns. And really that's not what we're here to talk about, but we are going to use these patterns to show you a common funny enough, a common pattern. So they describe here 3-line strike has a very as a powerful pattern, but what I'm really going to show you here is kind of reading in between the lines and what you really need to look at. And again, here you have 2 black gapping pattern, and then the 3 black crows, the evening star, the abandoned baby. So maybe this is a morning star in some other textbooks. But really what I want to focus on, there's one common candle pattern here in all of these. And this is what you really want to focus on because it lets you know an important price, and it can give you a framework on how to risk manage and structure your setup. Like where would you want to get in? So let's go back to the first powerful pattern, which is the 3-line strike. And right away, I'm going to give you the deal. And here's the deal. The best pattern that I found is the single break up candle. And it's this one here. You can forget all of the rest. And really, this is what you want to look for, is a breakup candle. And then you have another breakup candle here. This is a fairly strong trend, so you never really got a pullback. And we're going to look at some examples of that. And this is how you want to get in here. But what you do have set up here is a bull flag. And we're going to take a look at that on some charts. I can't draw lines here because it's on Investopedia. It's on a website. And you have another breakup candle here. So really what I want you to focus on is breakup candles, and really forget about all these fancy name patterns, because really that's what you need to focus on. Again, here you have is the opposite, breakdown candle. You have another breakdown candle, and then another breakdown candle. And next thing you know, oh, here's the pattern. It developed, and then it never went anywhere after. So you really missed the trade. So how can you position yourself where you can profit off of this type of move? By the 4th day, there's nothing left, and you're left with breadcrumbs. Next thing you know, you get stopped out, and this is a losing trade. 3 black crows. Again, by the 3rd candle, there's nothing left, and you're left with breadcrumbs, or you get stopped out of the trade if you're going short. And evening star. Here, you had a bit more of a decent move on this, some follow through on some next candles. Here, it took some time, but you got a little something. But this type of pattern did provide a setup. So what I want to do is let's go back to the beginning here, and let me just take a screenshot of this, and then we'll just go into Paint here in just a minute. Okay, here we are in Paint, and really what I want to show you is, I just want to draw some lines here. What you have here is, a bull flag, and really, you call it a bull flag, whatever. But really what all it's doing is killing time off the clock here, building energy here to move higher. This is all that it's doing in this area. is to build energy to move higher. So this is a continuation pattern. So we have two options. One is to look for this pattern, and two is normally after a break-up candle like this, you do have a test of that breakdown candle low. So you want to take a look. This is where you want to set up. So in this particular chart, it was $11. So $11 is where you would have had your buy. But in this particular case, it was a strong trend, and what you had here is a bull flag, and you would have, bought this breakout, and that's how you would have traded this particular pattern. And that's why I want to point out that the breakup candles and the breakdown candles are really what you want to focus on. So let's go back to, let's go grab another. Let's grab the 3 black crows, because this is a good example of how to trade breakup and breakdown candles. Okay, so instead of waiting for this 3 candles to shape up, really what you're looking for is that one single pattern, one single candle. Let's just change it to red. In here you have the single candle. This is a breakdown candle. It closed below the previous open, right? It's larger than any of these candles on this uptrend. So it's definitely a breakdown candle. So how do you trade this? So like I mentioned in the previous pattern, right? It normally comes and retests, in this particular case, the high of the breakdown candle. So this is always, for me, is conservative. So if you want the least risk, you would want to set something here. But what I like to do is, halfway is good enough for me. And then this is where I would get in. So in this particular place, 17.25 would have been good enough for me. It's halfway. And then you would have got the next 2 candles move down all the way to 15. That's a $2 move, on a $17 stock. That's huge. That's very nice. So that's the difference between just looking for a breakup candle versus breakdown. And even in this particular case, now you have, a breakup candle here. It's larger than most of these candles here, larger than these candles, larger than these. So I would say that is a breakup candle. So the conservative approach would be to have an entry here, and you would have got in here at 13 and a dime, right? And then for another dollar move on a $16 stock, that's a nice day's pay. So this is what we want to train your eye to look at here is these breakup and breakdown candles, and mitigate your risk around that. So this is it for now. Stay tuned for part 2. I don't want to make this video too long. I respect your time. So remember, if you stay through this whole video, like, subscribe, and comment below. I do respond to those comments. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow.